We're starting our lesson. So you need to wait until after we're done. All right. So, yesterday we learned how to determine if relationships are proportional or not. Whenever we were determining our ratios yesterday, we were just doing like our top number divided by our bottom number, right? We're going to switch it up though. Okay, we're going to switch it and we're going to start doing our bottom number on top over our top number. Okay, so we're going to flip it. It's actually going to make it a little bit easier because you won't be dealing with as many fractions. Most of the time, this will make it a whole number now instead of a fraction, okay? It doesn't really matter. You're still going to get the same answer as whether it's proportional or not, depending on which way you do top over bottom or bottom over top. But if we change it to do bottom over top, it's going to help make a little bit more sense once we get into slope and rate of change down the road, okay? So from here on out, we're going to do our bottom number on top and our top number on bottom. So we're kind of going to flip it, okay? Yes. Yeah. 1 second. So in this case, all I'm doing right here for 1 through 3 is I'm writing my ratios. So the ratio from total amount earned to hours is going to be 15 over 1. Which simplifies to what?
15.
Simplifies to 15. What's my ratio for 2 hours?
15.
My ratio is actually 30 over 2, right? Which simplifies to 15. My ratio for 3 hours
45 over 3.
is 45 over 3, which simplifies to what?
15.
And 4 over 60? Or 60 over 4?
60 over 4 equals
15. So I get the same rate of 15 every single time. So does that tell me that I'm proportional or not proportional? Proportional. I'm just going to write yes. So if you get the same rate after you simplify them for every single ratio, that means it's proportional. Okay. Number 2, we've got packages to total cost. So my ratio here is going to be 11 over 1, which simplifies to 11. For 2 packages, it's going to be $20 per 2 packages, which simplifies to what? 3 packages cost $29. So that's 29 over 3. What does that simplify to? So it gives me a decimal. It doesn't simplify evenly, right? So we're just going to leave it at 29 over 3. Leave it as a fraction. What about 38 over 4? So it's a decimal too, but can I simplify this as a fraction? If I keep it as a fraction, can I simplify it? How? How can I simplify this? Divide by what? Guys, how do you simplify fractions? If it doesn't divide 38 divided by 4 evenly, to keep it as a fraction, how do I simplify it? Can I divide both numbers by 2? That's simplifying fractions, right? So if I divide my 38 by 2, what do I get? If I divide 4 by 2, what do I get?
2.
This is a simplified fraction, guys. So is 11 equal to 10?
No.
Which isn't equal to 29 over 3? Which isn't equal to 19 over 2, right? So is it proportional or not? All right, go ahead and do number 3 on your own. So write up those ratios and tell me if it's proportional or not. Everybody should be writing. Is it proportional or not proportional? No? So what's my ratio for the first one? What's my simplified ratio for number 3 or 2? The third one? It looks like it's proportional. The last one throws us off. So this is a prime example as why you need to figure out all of them, okay, instead of just determining those first 2 ratios. Because if you just looked at those first 2, you would have said, yep, proportional. But it's actually not. If, however, my first one was 24 and my second one was 23, I could go ahead and say it's not proportional. Because I know that the first 2 are different, okay? Alright, number 4 through 7, we're doing the same thing. We're trying to figure out if they're proportional or not. So, how do I find it out? How do I find out my first ratio? Switch what? Okay, so what does that mean? What's my simplified rate? So what's my simplified rate if I have this? 2 and 198. 1.98. So if you divide 1.98 by 2, you get 0.99 again. What about the third one? So 2.97 divided by 3 is still 0.99. And then 3.96 divided by 4. So they're all 0.99. What does that mean? Proportional. Aman. Head up. Right. Take notes. Alright, number 5. I've got hours compared to total amount earned. So if I want to find the rates and see if they're proportional or not, I'm dividing my bottom number by my top number. So 17.25 divided by 1 is just going to give me 17.25. What's 35.50 divided by 2? What? So then 50.75 divided by 3 is going to give me what? $50.75 divided by 3. Point. 916. So tell me how that would round. 916. That would round it to 92. If I have 50.75 divided by 3, if you're rounding, we're talking about money here, so that means I need to round to my nearest hundredth. So I have 2 decimal places. 916, 6 is greater than 5, right? So that means I can bump that 1 up to a 2. Do I have to go ahead and figure out what this last ratio is to determine if it's proportional or not? No, I can go ahead and look at it and see that it's not proportional, right? Because none of them are equal. Number 6, I've got 37 over 1, so that's just 37. 73 over 2 gives me what?
36.5.
So can I go ahead and tell if it's proportional or not?
Yes.
What is it? Non-proportional. We good so far? Make a little bit more sense than yesterday? Good. I told y'all it would. Alright, so number 7, 2.75 divided by 1 is going to give me 2.75. 550 divided by 2 gives me what? 2.75. 8.25 divided by 3. 2.75. And 11 divided by 4. 2.75. So what is this one? Proportional. Alright, so number 8 is the same thing. We're still finding out if it's proportional or not, but they did not give me a table. It's a word problem, so I'm going to have to build the table myself. Okay? But that's easy to do. We can do it. You've just got to pay attention to what the word problem tells you and determine what's important and what it actually means. Okay? So, number 8 says that Fred is ordering pies for a family reunion, and each pie is $4.50. For orders smaller than a dozen, there's a $5 delivery fee. They want to know if the cost is proportional to the number of pies. Okay. So to set up my table, I've got to figure out what I need to put on top and what's on bottom. So if I read that last sentence, it's actually asking what is proportional to what. It says it's the cost proportional to the pies. I'm going to flip that order around. So cost comes first and pies comes second. I'm going to flip it around so that pies is on top and cost is on bottom. Just because it's going to make it easier. It's going to get rid of those fractions. Okay. So just always, you're going to flip that sentence. So they told me in the word problem that each pie costs $4.50, but then you also have to pay a $5 delivery fee, right? So if I'm buying one pie, how much is it going to cost to get one pie delivered? $4.50 plus $5, which gives me a total of what? $9.50, okay? So if I order one pie, it's going to cost $9.50. But what if I get two pies? Well, think about it. I'm just adding another pie to my delivery. So do I have to pay that $5 delivery fee again? I don't have to pay that $5 delivery fee again. It doesn't matter if I order one pie or 10 pies. I'm just paying $5 one time for them to deliver it for me. Okay. So after you already pay that $5 for that first pie, all you have to add is just the cost of a pie, which is $4.50. So 2 pies is just going to cost you $14. So it's $9.50 plus $4.50. Does that make sense as to why you don't have to pay that $5 again?
Yes.
Because it's just a one-time delivery fee.
So it's just 14?
It's just 14, yep. So then if I buy 3 pies, I've got to add just the cost of a pie again. So 14 plus 450, which gives me 1850. I'm going to head up. I'm going to be writing stuff down. So what's it going to cost if I order 4 pies? $23. Okay. So now I have my table, and this is exactly like what we just did. We need to find out if it's proportional or not. So I've got to find my rates. So if I'm putting my bottom number on top, I have 950 over 1, which is just 950, right? So if I'm buying 2 pies, my rate for that is 14 over 2, which is 7. And then for my 3 pies, it's going to be 1850 over 3. Can I go ahead and tell if it's proportional or not? It's not proportional, right? Because my rates are all different. 957 and 6.16. So this is non-proportional. Non-proportional. All right. I want y'all to skip this second page. We're going to come back to that. Okay. So look at the back page. It's word problems, okay? You've got 6 word problems. I want you, as a class, or as a group, I'm going to tell you what groups you're in. I want you to just discuss all of these 6 word problems and see if they're proportional or not. If you don't need to draw a table to tell, then you don't have to draw a table, okay? Just talk about it with your peers to determine if they're proportional or not, okay? So I'm going to come around, or I'm going to point to which groups you need to be in.